My dear students, respected parents as well as teachers, I am going to take 10th standard lesson 11, the human eye and the colorful world. This lesson is the combination of both biology as well as physics. The first part, the human eye and its construction, is related to biological mechanism. The function of the human eye and the colorful world, it is related to the physics. That is why among all the lessons in 10th standard, the human eye and the colorful world is most significant. This lesson is going to be completed in 4 periods. Now, let us know what are the learning points which we are supposed to learn in this period. Sensory organs, the human eye and its significance, similarities and differences between human eye and camera, the parts of the eye construction and the function, the image formation in the eye, accommodation of the eye, far point and near point of the eye. And also I am going to show the learning points of second period, third period as well as even fourth period also. Okay, let us start the lesson. Sense organs. In our body, mainly there are 5 major organs which are very much essential for the sense. Hence, they are called as the sensory organs. The first one is the human eye, which enables us to see. The second one is ear. It helps us to listen to the sound. The third one is tongue, which helps us to speak and which helps us to even get the taste of the food. And other organ is very important organ, that is nose. From nose our breathing is possible and even we can smell the things around us. The last sensory organ is the skin, which enables and feels us touch, and moreover it gives good protection to our body. All the 5 sensory organs are equally important. Nothing is inferior and nothing is superior. But anyhow, out of all these 5 organs, the human eye is quoted as the most significant organ because of several reasons. See, from this human eye, we could see the colorful world around us. That is why the human eye is most significant. We could see the colorful mountains, colorful valleys, sunrise, sunset, beautiful scenery and everything around us. The human eye is most important compared to all sensory organs, that you know very well. About the significance of the human eye, I would like to quote an illustration from the mythological stories. During the lockdown period, you might have watched the Mahabharata serial which has been telecasted in the television. I would like to take one instance from that Mahabharata story. Dhritarashtra, the elder, was selected as the king of the Hastinapur kingdom. It was accepted by Mahamahima Bhishma and all other people. Ultimately, in the court, the chief minister, Mr. Vidura, rejected the offer. As per the rules and regulations, a blind person cannot become king or emperor of that kingdom. Ultimately, he was rejected and Pandava was taken the charge of the king of the Hastinapura kingdom. Actually, there is another interesting fact about the human eye. In our body, all organs are growing throughout our life, at least up to certain period. But there is one organ which never grow throughout our life, it remains the same, that is size of the human eye. In order to understand the function of the eye, sometimes we take the real pictures of the eye we take the cross section of the human eye. Sometimes we take even ray diagrams of the human eye for the better understanding. This is the eyeball. The eyeball is approximately 2.3 centimeter in diameter. Now, let us go still deeper into the concept of understanding the parts of the human eye, especially the construction and the functional aspects. This is called as the outermost layer of the eye, that is called as the sclera. It is always opaque substance. It is the middlemost layer or the second layer of the eye called as the choroid. If you observe an eye in the expanded mode, one can watch the small blood vessels on the choroid. These supply blood to the human eye. See, the human eye is not a plane surface. It is curved. As I told already, eyeball means it is naturally curved. The outermost layer of the human eye is bulged at the middle region. That region is called as the cornea. This cornea is most prominent surface of the eye. The light coming from the distant object will enter the eye first through the cornea. That is why the cornea is called as the gateway of the human eye to enter the light. This colorful region is most attractive. This is called as the iris. This is found behind the cornea, and its main function is to regulate the size of the pupil to allow the required amount of the light into the eye. The colors of the iris is different because it is due to the chemical substance called as the melanin. See, across the world you could see the iris of the different people, that is mainly due to the geographical factor. In America, the iris color will be green in color. If you go to Britain, it may be some other color. If you go to Africa, the iris color may be black. Yes, now you could see that black color impression, that is called as the pupil. It is the most attractive part of the human eye. It is also called as the toy of the human eye. What is the function of the pupil? The pupil will be completely regulated by the cornea. Its main function is to moderate the amount of the light entering into the human eye. Sometimes, suppose if you enter from outside towards a cinema theatre, in the cinema theatre all the lights are switched off. At a moment you could not be able to see anything. At that situation, the pupil, it expands and it allows more light to enter into our eye. Within few seconds, now you could be able to see the entire theatre properly. So, whenever it is necessary, it allows more amount of the light to enter inside, and if it is not required, suppose from the dark room if you come to the outside, at that time the light is more, so it allows less amount of the light into our eye. This is the most important part of our human eye. I do not want to say what is it. You could be able to say that is clearly lens. You know there are two types of lenses. May I know which is that lens, my dear children? Yes, surely that is the convex lens. What is the function of the convex lens? The light gets refracted and the image is going to be formed on the screen. What type of image is going to be formed? You know very well, the real and inverted image is going to form. Now, on either edges of the lens, you could see some muscles. These muscles are called as the ciliary muscles. These ciliary muscles will control the length of the eye lens. If the ciliary muscles expand or relax, the focal length is going to increase. If the ciliary muscles contract, the curvature becomes more and the focal length of the lens decreases. The next layer is called as the retina. So, if there is a lens, definitely there must be some image formation. If the image formation has to fall on a screen, we need a photographic screen. This is natural photographic screen called as the retina. The retina as well as the lens are always opposite to each other. The retina is composed of the sensitive cells, I mean light sensitive cells as well as the color sensitive cells called as the rods and cones. Let us see what is the function of rods and cones. The cones are sensitive to color. See, you could see different colors. Actually, the cones which are present in the human eye, they are not like this. In order to give the impression of the cones, I have used these pictures. So, whatever the color you are going to see, for that mainly cones are responsible. So, there is a drawback of the cones. The cones are not sensitive to dim light. Suddenly, if there is a power cut, what happens? You could see the ball. Can you see the red color ball as it is? No, it becomes black. During darkness, how the color of the ball is going to change? Any magic is going to happen? Nothing is going to happen. But only thing is, during the dim light, the cones which are present in our eye become insensitive. I mean, they are not going to function properly. So, that is why the objects in the darkness appears to be black in color. Next, we come to rods. The rods are sensitive to bright light as well as dim light to certain extent. Totally, the rods and the cones are mainly responsible for the conversion of the image which is formed on the retina to convert into electric signals. Why they are going to convert them into electric signals? Actually, the mechanism of the vision is 50% in the human eye. Another 50% task is going to take place in the brain. That is why the image converts into electric signals, and these electric signals will be carried to the brain through a mediator or a linking bridge or a conductor called as the optic nerves. There is a fluid between cornea and the lens. That fluid is called as the aqueous humor. This aqueous humor, it is made up of some nutrients which is very much essential for the functioning of the eye. In between the eye lens and the retina, there is a vast fluid called as the vitreous humor. This vitreous humor is normally made up of 99% water. There are no living cells, and it almost covers the entire eyeball, and it always helps in the refraction of the light. So, that is why the vitreous humor is also called as the liquid lens of the human eye. So, that encircled region is called as the yellow spot. Is it yellow in color? No, it is not yellow in color. Then why it is called as yellow spot? Normally, for the image formation, rods and cones are very much essential. Without these cells, the vision becomes incomplete. I mean, image won't be formed anywhere. So, in this region where I encircled, the rods and cones are more. Large number of rods and cones are present at a particular point, means definitely the sensitive image is going to form in that region. So, therefore, yellow spot is the best spot to get the good image of an object. Opposite to yellow spot, there must be some spot called as the blind spot. As the name itself indicates, if the image forms on this spot, blind, that means no image formation. Why no image formation? because there are no rods and cones in that region, especially where the region optic nerve is going to leave the eye towards the brain, there rods and cones are not present, hence the image is not going to form, hence that spot is called as the blind spot. Okay. Now, let us go to the brain. Say whatever the activities which happens in our body, ultimate decision will be given by the brain. Brain is called as the king of the human body. Even here also, the brain plays a key role in getting a good vision of a particular object. Totally the light falls on the cornea, from the cornea it goes to the eye lens, from the eye lens it gets refracted, the image is going to formed on the retina rods and cones will convert the images into electric signals. These electric signals will pass through the optic nerve to the brain. The brain will first interpret these signals and finally it will give a decision and it will process the decision. This information will reach us and ultimately we perceive the object, the nature, the color, how far the object is in front of us or far away from us and what kind of object is that, everything will be given by the brain to us. Another important duty of the brain is, especially we have two eyes. Two eyes, two electric signals will pass to the brain through the optic nerve. It unites both signals and it forms a single image. Okay children, till now you managed to understand each and every parts like construction and functional aspect of the different organs. So, these organs are very interesting. They are very delicate organs. Since we know that human eye is a very small part of our body, still it has good delicate organs. Now, how they are cordially united to perform the vision, that is your interesting aspect. Now, let us see how these organs they are going to function to get a very good image of an object. See children, what is that? I need not say what is that, it is tree. What is going to happen? The sunlight falls on the tree. It gets reflected. What gets reflected? The light gets reflected. There is a person standing, it is its eye. The reflected light enters into his eye through the cornea and it passes to the eye lens. Light gets refracted. I mean the image is going to form on the screen, that is on the retina. As we are all aware that the convex lens will always give real and inverted image, yes, it is on the screen, that is real image. Next, what kind of image? You are very curious to know what kind of image is going to form. The image formed is inverted. In our life, if you come across such instances of getting always inverted images, it is very difficult to lead our life. But luckily, it won't happen to get inverted image always, because the eye takes only 50% work. Remaining 50% work has to be completed from the brain. This inverted image converted into electric signals. These electric signals are passed through the optic nerve to the brain, is the master. Now, let us see what that master is going to give the decision. Even the brain also will give the inverted image of this. Already it is inverted. Once again, if it becomes inverted, luckily we get a correct image. Let us say thanks to the brain for getting inverted image or for converting inverted image into correct image. This is the mechanism of the vision. The entire process I took several minutes to explain, my dear children, but the entire process will take place within fraction of a second. I think you enjoyed a lot. Like from light, how it is going to reflect from an object, it enters into the human eye, it undergoes refraction, then image is formed, the image goes to the brain, and ultimately we could see the image properly. Did you enjoy this ray diagram, children? Yes, fine. Okay, let us proceed further. The same thing which I explained till now I had given in the form of the points. Please note down these points. Okay, children, did you understand all the facts properly? Next, the human eye acts like a camera. You have seen camera. There are beautiful cameras and several cameras are inserted even in the mobile also. But if you have any good camera, it won't come even closer to the human eye camera. Human eye camera is always natural camera. But anyhow, there are several similarities and differences between the photographic camera and the human eye, which I am going to show one by one. The camera eye lens is made by glass, but our eye lens is made by natural crystalline lens. The lens of the camera cannot be altered, it is always fixed. But with the help of the ciliary muscles, we can increase or decrease the size of the lens. The focal length of the camera cannot change, the focal length of the eye can be varied according to the distance. The only thing is, the distance between the screen and the lens in the camera can be varied often and often to have a clear image of the far away and nearby object. But in the case of the human eye, the distance between the lens and the retina will be always fixed and it cannot be altered under any circumstances. After knowing the differences between the human eye and the photographic camera, let us proceed further to have few more points to be clear in our mind. From this human eye, now I am going to take separately the eye lens. The eye lens is clearly bounded by ciliary muscles on either edges. You know what is the function of the ciliary muscles? They will contract and relax to increase the curvature or to decrease the curvature, to increase the focal length or to decrease the focal length. Now observe here, some object is there. The object is moving away from the eye lens. Now you could be able to see the ciliary muscles are expanding and the curvature, the size of the eye lens increases, the focal length increases. Now the object is coming closer to the human eye. In this situation, the ciliary muscles contract and the eye lens becomes very small, and this much is enable us to see the nearby objects with small focal length. So the main purpose of introducing the eye lens relaxation and contraction is to explain the power of accommodation. The ability of the eye lens to adjust its focal length is called as the accommodation. If the objects are far away, the ciliary muscles will expand and the focal length increases. Now you could be able to see properly. If the objects are very closer to our human eye, the ciliary muscles will contract and the focal length will decrease. That is suitable for observing the nearby objects. Depending upon the distance from the human eye, if you want to have a clear vision, the focal length of the eye lens needs to be changed often and often. This power of the eye is called as the power of accommodation. After understanding the power accommodation of the human eye, let us proceed further to know the near point or the minimum distance. If you want to see any object, if you keep very closer to us, you cannot see it properly or you cannot read it properly. Okay, you take it for a certain distance. Now I could be able to see or I could be able to read properly. Now calculate the distance between the object and the eye. It is exactly 25 centimeter. So we have to keep the book or any object at least 25 centimeters away from our eye to have a clear vision, and it won't give much strain to our human eye. This minimum distance is called as the near point of the eye. If there is near point, there must be far point definitely. By opening our human eyes, if you just have a look at the dazzling night sky or anywhere towards the colorful mountains or valleys or anything, you can see very clearly. So, you can see sunset, you can see sunrise, they are all far away from us. How much they are far away? They are at infinite distances. So, our eye is capable to see the objects which are at infinite distances. That is called as the far point of the human eye. Totally, to sum up, I would like to say the far point of the human eye is from 25 centimeter up to infinity or infinite distance. See, there is a picture which make you to enjoy very nicely. See, the first person is keeping a ball with him, it is less than 25 centimeter and he is saying, oh, it is not clearly visible. The same person is keeping the ball exactly at 25 centimeter, now it is clearly visible. That is called as the near point. The same person is watching the sky along with moon, you can see clearly at infinite distance, infinity, and that is called as the maximum distance. Till now, you would be able to understand all the facts related to the human eye properly. I am so happy that you responded very well. Anyhow, as a formality, I want to check how much you understood in the recapitulation. Let us see the first question. Yes, the organ is questioning you. You please give respect to the organ and give a very good answer. What is called as the liquid lens? As I explained already, definitely your answer is correct, that is vitreous humor. See the second question. The light do not get reflected. This is present in the eyeball. It is with iris. It is block surface. I had given sufficient clues. These clues are very much enough for you to answer. I hope your answer will be pupil. Come to next question, children. Who is controlling the eye lens to get expand or to contract it, sometimes to increase focal length or to decrease focal length? Somebody is controlling it. Who is that? Shall I give a clue? Some muscles are controlling. Oh, I told the answer. Definitely the answer is ciliary muscles. Come to the next question. There are two cells in the retina. One is light sensitive cells, the other is color sensitive cells. Which are color sensitive cells? Yes, it resembles a geometrical shape. Yes, somebody is already answering. Yes, my dear child, it is correct. That is cones. Yes, it is a conductor or the mediator which takes the electric impulses from the eye towards the brain. It is some kind of nerve, I feel. Yes, you are right. It is optic nerve. Okay, children, very effectively you have answered all the questions. From my side, thanks to each and every student. Now, I would like to give some activity to you. Collect information about the colors of the iris across the world, and sometimes if your friend's eye gets expanded, you see the blood vessels, and name the different organs to safeguard the eyes like eyelid and some other organs. And please check out how many times your friend opens and closes the eyelid in 1 minute. In 1 minute. So, do this activity, you feel very happy. And after this, finally, as per the formality, I am going to give some homework. So, please write down the questions which are displayed on the board, and without fail, in the next class you have to answer all these questions. Okay, children, I am going to conclude this period. In this period, you managed to understand the constructional aspect and the functional aspect of the different parts of the human eye. So, with the same spirit, let us proceed further for the next period. Until then, take care. Bye bye.